The Beggar Prince's Awakening. A tale of empathy and justice. Once upon a time in the bustling city of Eldoria, there lived a young prince named Lucius. Lucius was not like any other prince. He had a heart that yearned for adventure and a spirit that longed to understand the lives of his people. Although he was born into a life of luxury and privilege, he couldn't ignore the suffering of the beggars who lined the city streets. One crisp autumn morning, Lucius decided to disguise himself as a beggar to experience life from a different perspective. He exchanged his royal robes for tattered rags, his fine meals for scraps of food, and his cozy palace for the cold, unforgiving streets of Eldoria. Lucius quickly realized that life as a beggar was far from easy. He met a wise old beggar named Elias, who became his guide and mentor. Elias taught Lucius the art of survival on the streets, from finding shelter in abandoned buildings to the art of begging for alms, without losing one's dignity. As weeks turned into months, Lucius grew closer to the other beggars, forming genuine friendships with people he would have never met in his palace. He listened to their stories of hardship and resilience, and he learned about the injustices they faced. One fateful day, Lucius overheard a plot by corrupt officials to raise taxes on the poorest citizens, making life even harder for the beggars. Determined to make a change, he devised a plan with his new friends. They gathered evidence of the officials' wrongdoing, and distributed flyers throughout the city, rallying the citizens to protest against the unjust tax hike. The protest grew larger and louder, until it reached the ears of the king himself. When the king learned that his own son, Lucius, was leading the charge, he was both shocked and proud of his son's newfound empathy and bravery. In the end, the corrupt officials were ousted from power, and taxes were adjusted to be fairer to all citizens. Lucius, no longer in disguise, stood proudly beside his father, the king, as the people of Eldoria celebrated the newfound justice and equality. Lucius had discovered that true wealth lay not in gold and jewels, but in the bonds of friendship, empathy, and the ability to make a positive impact on the lives of others. He returned to the palace a changed prince, dedicated to ruling with compassion and fairness, forever cherishing the lessons he learned as a beggar on the streets of Eldoria. And so, the Beggar Prince became a symbol of hope and inspiration for all teenagers in Eldoria, reminding them that change was possible, no matter their circumstances.
Bedtime Wonderworld. Subscribe now for more interesting videos that will spark curiosity and inspire your imagination.